Sightsavers is committed to preventing avoidable blindness and fighting for the rights of people with disabilities in some of the world's poorest countries. Our work focuses on protecting sight, fighting disease, promoting disability rights, and carrying out research. And we cover more than 30 countries worldwide. As an organization, we are committed to minimizing the risk of harm to people who come into contact with our programs. Our safeguarding policy aims to ensure that all Sightsavers work is carried out safely and effectively, and to reduce the risk of abuse or harm against children and at-risk adults. Our safeguarding policy. Sightsavers' safeguarding policy protects both children and at-risk adults. The policy is guided by the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child and the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Both of these aim to protect children and adults from any form of harm or abuse linked to the work we do. Sightsavers' safeguarding policy provides clear definitions, sets standards across the organization, and outlines clear guidelines that our representatives and partner organizations must follow. To ensure the highest standards of safeguarding among staff, partners, and representatives, Sightsavers requires them all to sign and agree to abide by a safeguarding code of conduct. Our stringent recruitment procedures aim to minimize the risk of people who wish to do others harm from entering the organization. We want to work in partnership to create a shared understanding of safeguarding and create safe environments with our partners. What our policy covers. The safeguarding policy aims to prevent abuse in all its forms. This includes physical abuse, mental or emotional abuse, neglect, exploitation and harmful traditional practices, and sexual abuse. People with disabilities are often more vulnerable to abuse than their peers, so our approach has a particular focus on adults and children with disabilities, where applicable. Initiating the policy. The safeguarding policy applies across all our work and in all of Sightsavers' programs, including eye health, neglected tropical diseases, disability rights, and research. All Sightsavers representatives and partner organizations must follow the policy. Awareness and communication is vital, and Sightsavers will only partner with organizations that follow an equally comprehensive safeguarding policy or agree to develop one in a specified time frame. Sightsavers will help partner organizations to improve their safeguarding practices through training, technical guidance, and sharing resources. To streamline the policy, Sightsavers has a global safeguarding team, along with designated safeguarding leads representing all countries where Sightsavers has an office. They work together to monitor and review the safeguarding policy and procedures each year. Implementing the policy. When recruiting, choosing, and training employees, Sightsavers follows a clear recruitment process. We carry out strict references and ask all relevant questions about a candidate's suitability to work with children and at-risk adults. All Sightsavers representatives are given training about the policy. What's more, for our new programs, we carry out a safeguarding risk assessment as part of the project design or induction phase. If any risks are identified, we take the necessary steps in line with our safeguarding policy and incorporate them into the project's design and documentation. Safeguarding and communication. All Sightsavers communication activities are carried out with appropriate consent, and individuals are depicted in line with Sightsavers' ethical content policy. Staff are also trained on ethical content collection. Sightsavers representatives must ensure that all interviews and images are gathered and used with sensitivity to safeguard people's rights to dignity, identity, confidentiality, and privacy. Photos of our beneficiaries should be decent and respectful, and should not stigmatize the community, family, or person. Prior consent must be obtained from individuals or their guardians, where applicable, if their photos or information are to be used for communications, while also keeping their personal data secure. Any incidents that do not comply with these guidelines will trigger an inquiry, and steps will be taken to redress the concern, in compliance with national laws. In conclusion, Sightsavers' safeguarding policy reflects our commitment to building a healthy and supportive environment for children and at-risk adults. It aims to improve all our work through a risk-based approach, where all appropriate checks are in place to prevent harm and abuse. Our priority is the safety of everyone who comes into contact with our projects and programs. This is why all Sightsavers representatives, stakeholders, and partners must abide by our standards of best practice and comply with our safeguarding policy and codes of conduct. Reporting a concern. If you are concerned that someone has been or may be at risk of being harmed or abused, please contact your designated safeguarding lead or global safeguarding team immediately. All concerns will be handled in a confidential manner. Email safeguarding@sightsavers.org or visit our Speak Up platform on the Sightsavers website, where anonymous reports can be made and local and international phone numbers for reporting can be accessed. Safeguarding is everyone's responsibility. By working together, we can create a safer and better future for all.